Hello, everyone. Thanks for listening to Wake Up, Look Up, a podcast where we connect events happening in real time to the gospel of Jesus Christ. I'm Zach Wyrock. And in today's episode, we're asking the question, is revival a vibe? This is prompted by a New York Times article by Lauren Jackson that actually quite a few of you sent me about the stemming of the so-called religious decline in America. Various articles over the last few years have made the case that America's spirituality was declining. People were leaving churches, distancing themselves from religion. But according to Ms. Jackson, that is changing. People are no longer leaving their churches or their religions en masse. In fact, at present, 92% of Americans say they hold to spiritual beliefs, including 83% of people saying they believe in God or some kind of universal spirit. And you're seeing this in more and more cultural places, politics, pop culture references, even the tech industry, where one billionaire mogul after another is starting to represent and advance his or her spiritual cause. And this has been the motivation for some enthusiasm. Those of you that sent me the article sent it to me celebrating that spirituality is no longer declining. I actually am a part of a few text threads where pastors were celebrating this. And believe it or not, I'm going to go the other way on this and say, actually, I'm a little concerned about this. Now, first of all, let me say this. Trends are just that. They're trends. Things rise and fall in their popularity. But the Bible reminds us in passages like Hebrews 13 that Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. The gospel moves forward. The kingdom advances. God is constant. In fact, one way of reading the book of Revelation is a lot of crazy things are going to happen between now and when the world ends. But at the end, Jesus wins. So trends are trends, but I never want us to ride the wave of them too much. Certainly, as an American, I would like our country to do better, more than worse. I'd like us to be more interested in God than less interested. But I believe deeply in the resiliency of the gospel. Remember Matthew 16, Jesus says that the gates of hell will not prevail against his church. That's all I need. No matter what the trends say, Jesus threw down the gauntlet. Here's the thing, spirituality is not the same thing as clarity. It's not the same thing as truth. The fact that 92% of Americans hold spiritual beliefs or 83% believe in God or some kind of universal spirit is not in and of itself a net positive. For example, if I went to Saudi Arabia, I would find that a lot of people there believe in God. But they believe in the God of Islam, not the God of the Bible. That belief in God in and of itself is not a good thing for them, and it is not a sign of any kind of revival. Jesus said it this way in John 14:6, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father but by me. In line, so-called, on the day of judgment, if one person in line has no faith in God and one person has faith in any God other than Jesus Christ, both are headed towards the same outcome on the day of judgment. So you might be feeling good about the increase in spirituality, but I would just argue this, the world needs clarity. They need answers. That's what Peter meant in 1 Peter 3 when he says we need to be ready to give a defense of the things we believe, to articulate truth. This is what the apostles were praying for in Acts 4 when they're saying in the face of persecution, God, give us courage to keep going. Listen, even if the people around you are spiritually minded, spiritual mindedness must ultimately lead to saving faith in Jesus Christ. What this article should cause us to believe is that people are more open than ever to actually having spiritual conversations. You don't have to assume the people around you don't want to talk about God. They might very well be just as interested as you are in spiritual things. So bring it up. Be specific. Point with clarity to Jesus, because spirituality on its own means nothing. It's just another form of rebellion, but spirituality that leads to Jesus saves people and changes the world. Let's be clarity. in the midst of a confused, albeit spiritual, world. Hey, thanks so much for watching this episode of Wake Up, Look Up. While you're here, take a minute to like and subscribe. It really helps us get the word out. Don't hesitate to leave a review wherever you might find this podcast on an audio level and help spread the word. And hey, while you're here, check out all the other content we have at Christ Community Chapel on YouTube. Some of those videos are popping up on the screen now. Click on one.